The tailor. So Tom is there. He's at a hotel right now, and it's quiet, and there's no one there. And it's like, what a weird assignment. He's sitting in an empty hotel ballroom. What's the point? In about 8 hours, planes are going to be landing into Indianapolis, and it's 32 teams. And most of the teams send their entire coaching staffs, their entire front office, their PR staff. Suddenly you've got 50 people wearing Seahawks logos and 50 people wearing Buccaneers logos. And everyone's in the same hallways intersecting. And toss in the media, toss in the prospects, and then toss in every agent as well. And there is gossip, there is rumors, and there are conversations. The conversation that I think is most fascinating this week is what's up with Rodgers. And I know that feels like here we go again, but I'm calling it Rodgers Mania Part 3. I've been on this show for 6 years, and half the time I've been on this show, we have spent the last week of February and the first week of March talking about where's Rodgers going, what is Rodgers doing. I could make jokes about the Darkness Retreat. I won't. I'll just say he spent last week 4 days isolated and came out of a hole, and basically now the Packers are like, are you coming back? Do you want to come back? If you don't want to come back, are you going to let us know? Here's the economics of the Rodgers situation. If they trade him before June 15th, that is a $40 million cap hit for them. If they trade him after June 15th, they can spread it out over 2023, over 2024, and it's a lot less damage. But if you're the Packers, it's almost like, if you don't want to be here, let's rip the Band-Aid off and let's just get this thing done. We'll eat the $40 million and not worry about it. But they're waiting on him. And it's not only them, like, the Jets are waiting on Rodgers. They had Derek Carr in last week. They took him out to dinner. They took him out to lunch. They brought him to the facility. Derek Carr had a great meeting with the Jets, and they loved meeting with him. But the feeling I'm getting is, before we offer anything officially to Carr, let's see what's up with Rodgers. So I think this week, the next few days, there are a lot of different players, and you're going to hit on one that I think might be even more intriguing, but Rodgers might be the first domino. Like, does Rodgers want to come back? If he does, do the Packers want him back? And then if they do, then we're good. If not, is it Jordan Love's time? And then which teams are going to be lining up to trade multiple assets to get him? But I'm fascinated by Rodgers, and the Darkness Retreat was last week. The Into the Light might be this week. I think we might know where his whereabouts are going to be.
Peter, just quick clarity on, like, the timeline. Rodgers, while he may be the first domino, like, he doesn't actually can't decide anything until a certain date, whereas Derek Carr is free to go anywhere he wants.
He's not a free agent. They determine they can trade him whenever.
Yeah.
But he can't just say, okay, I want to go to be a Las Vegas Raider. Like, it doesn't work like that. Derek Carr could say, I want to be a Jet. Let's sign the deal. He can do it today.
Okay.
Yeah, and to your point, the Jets may want Derek Carr, but it's just like, we still want to see what Rodgers is going to do before we do that. So Derek Carr may be waiting for Rodgers' decision before he signs anywhere. And you mentioned another guy, another quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
Talk about it.
When you talk about saga and different thing going on, it feels like the last 2 years we've been discussing, all right, look, at some point the Baltimore Ravens are going to give Lamar his long-term deal. Like, it's obvious at this point. It still hasn't happened. He went through all of last season without a deal. And I know he finished the season injured. They had a playoff game without him and all of that nonsense, but all the rumors and conversations right now, is he going to be franchised? Is he going to be traded? Is he going to get a long-term deal? Is it going to be fully guaranteed? They only offered him $133 million. It seems like every single day there's a new story out about Lamar Jackson, and he's not in a hole of darkness, but at the same time, he's not speaking, and there's still so many conversations about, hey, Lamar Jackson, he asked for more guaranteed money than Deshaun Watson on his contract. Well, Lamar didn't say that. Do we know if he's asking for that? But I'm interested, these next week, the Combine's going on, and Peter mentioned it. There's so many people down there discussing so many different scenarios. What's being talked about with Lamar Jackson behind closed doors? Are the Ravens exploring, hey, what a trade may look like? Are they kind of putting together a deal in hopes that they do get it done? Or they say, hey, you know what, the heck with it. If he doesn't sign a deal, we're just going to franchise him and ride it out. I'm waiting to see what goes on with Lamar Jackson.
Well, I'm always excited because this is the best time of the year. We get Lamar Jackson in how many different team jerseys on social media.
Photoshop.
You see that everywhere.
Fuego.
And I want to say, let's stay away from putting me in some of these like teasers, like they had the Adam Andrews catch in the end zone. I don't want to see that. If you're gonna put anything about me in a teaser, put an interception. Don't be scoring a touchdown.
We're talking about Lamar Jackson, like, don't get Moss, and then you don't end up in the highlights.
There's a reason he retired. That's all I'm gonna have to say. Obviously, this time of the year is always about this quarterback, that guy, this guy. I want to talk about John Gannon. John Gannon is a guy, he went in the facility, he met all the guys, and he didn't just meet them, he brought energy, excitement. He came in there, he was like, hey, Rondell Moore, speed, boom, 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 boom. And I saw something on Instagram. They said, if that was Michael Scott coaching, that's exactly what it would look like. And I loved it. So I'm excited to see John Gannon at the Combine. What does he do? They have a pick. They have a draft pick in the first round this year. What does he talk about? What kind of player is he looking for? What excitement is he going to bring to that stage? Because at the Combine, there's not much to see. You're going to see guys run around in shorts and T-shirts, and I know you're going to be down there. Other guys are going to go down there. They're going to talk about these players.
Go nuts.
They do this. Yeah. They do that. Look at him. Look at the way his hips swivel.
Look at his hip
he
flex.
Can turn and run. He can roll left. He can throw right. Like, that's... No one really cares about that, but I'm excited to see a guy like Gannon. He's going to be in there talking about what he looks for in a player, what he's looking for from his team this year. He went out there, he met Zach Ertz, he met Kelvin Beachum, he met Kyler Murray. First thing he told Murray, people are like, why do I want this job? I'll tell you why. I got a franchise quarterback. So I want to see him bring that same energy to Indy. Bring it every single day, every time he's in front of the camera. I'm excited. I think the Arizona Cardinals is a team. They have some talent. They did some things well over the last couple years. They believe in a guy like Kyler Murray, supposedly. They got Monty Ossenfort over there as well, another guy linked to the Patriots. Gotta love that. So I'm excited to see what that looks like.
I quickly ask, so that happened while we were gone. They also hired a 35-year-old offensive coordinator in Jim Petzing and a 29-year-old defensive coordinator in Nick Routt. So, like, when you hear that the coach is 40, 35, and 29, does that excite you, or does that say, oh gosh, we're all in this, and we're just too young. We have no shot here.
No, I'm excited because I think in today's game, the player-coach relationship is huge. Everyone talked about the Denver Broncos with Russ and Nathaniel Hackett, and they were like, do they have a good relationship? Is this going to work? It didn't look like it worked well to me. So I'm excited to see you got younger coaches. They understand this generation, I think, a little bit more than the guys like Pete Carroll and Coach Belichick. So I'm excited to see it. I think this young group can come and mold this team and hopefully get them back in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was a massive assist. You just talked about Russell Wilson, and that's exactly where I wanted to go over the next week. This is hard, and it kind of, Aaron Rodgers reminded me of this too, because the question was, what storyline are you paying attention to this week? But there's a couple that feel like they're going to have a little bit more longevity than 1 week. But what the hell happened with Russell Wilson over the weekend? The Athletic came out with a story that said a year ago this month, Russell Wilson went to ownership in Seattle and asked for Pete Carroll and John Schneider, the head coach and GM that have led this team to repeated Super Bowls and won one, to be fired. This, again, is reported by The Athletic. Russell Wilson came out on Twitter and said Pete Carroll is like a father figure that he didn't greet at Monday Night Football, but that's a different argument in week one. Everyone is denying this. An attorney for Russell Wilson is denying this. All that to be said, that stuff belongs in Seattle. How is Sean Payton going to handle this? How does Sean Payton make this look, sound, feel, not only over the next week, but the next month, year, whatever? Because this is a relationship now that has a lot of dollar signs next to it, and it has a lot of years to come. And Nathaniel Hackett may have thought he had a lot of dollar signs, a lot of years to come with Russell Wilson, but obviously that went by the wayside quite quickly when you only win 5 games. So Sean Payton, and that is also the name that was in that report as well, that Russell Wilson allegedly wanted Pete Carroll to be let go, and he wanted Sean Payton, who had just left the Saints, to come to Seattle and coach him. So somehow that makes the story, if you're just a bystander reading it, oh, that is a little believable, actually, that's who Russell Wilson would want to come, and now it's miraculous. That's his head coach in Denver. There's something here between these two, but a win's a win's a win, especially when it comes to paying these guys millions of dollars over the next couple of years. But I'm looking at Sean Payton this week in particular, and everyone's happy to have him back in the media, speaking from a press conference perspective and not the one giving the analysis, although he was great on Fox all year long. But how is he going to handle this? Because it was an interesting thing right when Russell Wilson, right when the two were paired back together, and Sean Payton goes, I heard he had a quarterback's coach in the building, and I don't believe in that stuff. So that, to me, was like an immediate power move that kind of was like, I am the guy, and this is how this is going to go. So is Russell Wilson going to have an office? Is he going to have a parking spot? Is his entire staff going to be in the building? These are questions that Sean Payton is going to be asked this week in Indy.
And he'll be answering. I'll say this, certain coaches, I don't know if I'm breaking news or if the NFL Network's going to say, don't say that Robert Saleh's not going, Sean McVay's not going. There are certain coaches who are like, I asked Coach Payton, are you going to the Combine? He's like, I'll be there Monday to Sunday, baby. I'm like, all right,
let's go.
He's ready to jump
He's
back
like,
in.
let's go. So he will be out there, and I'm sure we'll get some news out of Denver.